So chat, we're gonna start off with a red video because apparently there is something new happening with the Ethan lawsuit. So Rev has got some new information regarding the Ethan lawsuit against Denim's Frogan and Caseytron. At least I believe that's what it was. I believe that's in regards to. So let's see if we have some kind of significant updates in regards to the. Well, Gore, this one is about, our you know who. Thank you, Ozzy fans. Thank you. We're not actually oversaturated. I actually haven't watched too many of them. Yes, thank you, Jack. Yeah, Pronies, no. And I believe she filed extension. But let's find out. This is part of what it's about. So let's just jump in and see what's new with this with the suit.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So it's been a minute since we looked at any updates regarding the Ethan Klein copyright infringement lawsuits he's filed against Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron. You might guess already, things are not looking good, and it's really getting worse by the day. But luckily for these three stooges who are receiving these lawsuits, a savior has come. And that's, of course, Hassan Piker, who's not going to donate to their GoFundMe.
Oh my god, because of course Rev had to choose this photo. Oh, of course he had to choose this fucking photo. I gotta admit, it's the perfect photo with what he just said. It's the perfect photo.
Or do anything like that. But what he is going to do is tell Ethan to stop it. Yeah, that's right. It's time to stop Ethan Klein, according to Hassan. But we're going to get into all that in just a minute. But I want to do a quick reminder. A couple weeks ago, I announced my new collaboration with Epic Desk. This new drop I did with my wife, Darling Straw, features our two VTuber models on these
you're
desk
welcome,
mats, and
No
honestly,
Shadow.
they look gorgeous.
Exhibit A for tell me you're a hypocrite without telling me you're a hypocrite. The
fuck? Lola, you okay? Somebody go check on Lola. I'm a little concerned. She might have been dipping into the wrong kind of lettuce there. Zippy the Pinhead? Maybe. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with Zippy the Pinhead.
Bias here, but no, these are great, and they will be no longer available after October 3rd, but thanks to a great amount of sales, we're kind of close to a new threshold where we might get an extension, so if people want to have extra time, they can do so. And here's the other one as well. It looks really great. I'm proud of this collaboration, and I greatly appreciate the crazy amount of support we have gotten on these desk mats. And yeah, I'll put a link to this in the pinned comment, and make sure to get these before they are gone. So let's go back to the lawsuits. Of course, the three subjects, Caseytron, Frogan, and Denims. Now, today we're going to focus mostly on Caseytron, who's been having a rough go of things recently. And these two, well, not much better, but Caseytron is the one who was received this lawsuit because of her quote-unquote reaction to Ethan Klein's video titled Content Nuke Hassan. In that quote-unquote reaction, she spent more time taking bong rips than providing commentary. It's almost impressively ridiculous, but
yeah, if memory serves, for those that are not familiar, Ethan put out like a 1+ hour content nuke about Hassan, and Caseytron was one of the content creators that decided to watch that, but not comment on it. She literally put it, her, Denims, and Frogan put out publicly on social media, come watch the video on my stream so you don't give Ethan any money for the views on YouTube. So come to my stream instead, and you can watch it, and you won't give them any money, and instead you can give me money. And Ethan, that was a trap by Ethan, and so he's now suing the three of them for copyright infringement because he actually filed the video with what was it? The Library of Congress. He actually submitted it to the Library of Congress prior to launching it, knowing that these people would do that someone in the Hassan community would do this, and so now he's getting it for copyright infringement. And we saw the video of Casey. We saw like a part of the video from Kate with Casey Tron is like she spent like 15 minutes reacting.
I thought that Frogan lost everything after her stupid video a couple of years ago.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Unless Ephraim Moffat, if you're talking about her little stage performance at Twitch that caught her like a month-long ban, she did get that, where she basically did her racist tier list at TwitchCon, and she got like a month-long ban for that. And she didn't lose everything. But Casey Tron reacted like 15 minutes to this video and spent 28 minutes of it just smoking up like fucking crazy. Like I legit think she smoked more than Snoop Dogg during that video. Like it was impressively bad.
Her GoFundMe is, well, the best out of the three, but it's still far away from her $100,000 goal.
Oh my God, she still hasn't even raised 50 grand.
Keep in mind, she got most of that, like over 40 of it in the first week. And since then, it's been well over 3 months. So obviously things have really died off for her GoFundMe and the rest of the GoFundMes as well. But recently we learned when Casey Tron was at the 44,000 mark, she tried to settle, which is very interesting. This is kind of under the radar for a bit, but Ethan said this: Casey Tron, you raised $44,500. You offered me $17,500. This leaves over $27,000. Under no circumstances have you paid your lawyers $27,000 in a very short window, by the way. What were you planning on doing with the remaining money? Trying to catch a payday?
I called this. Granted, it wasn't in regards to Casey Tron. It was in regards to Frogan. If you'll remember, when all of this first came about, and Frogan was went on that other podcast, that other racist podcast of hers, and she was talking about the dollar amounts, where she was basically saying, oh, it's X amount on, it's X amount of dollars is going to go to this, and X amount of dollars is going to this, where it's like, okay, the payout is going to be, I have to pay this much, I have to pay the lawyers this much, and based on the amount that she was asking for, I was like, there's going to be a lot of that left over. What do you want to bet that she's going to be pocketing all that? Now, I was saying that about Frogan, but the same rules apply to all three of them, and yeah. Look at look what we have here with Casey Tron. So it's the same fucking thing that I said that Frogan was going to do. Is that trying to scam the people that are donating to her. Yeah, and I would not be surprised if Denims and Frogan are trying to facilitate something similar. Because, number one, they're not making their goals. No chance in hell they're making their goals. I think, Casey Tron and Denims are probably not even halfway to their goal of 100,000. Frogan might be like 37 or 40% the way of her $200,000 goal. None of them are going to hit it. And they're going to run a scam because that's what they do. They're 100% going to run a fucking scam. Jewish Nuxanor, thank you for the $10 dono. And yes, it is a challenge. I long ago learned, okay, there's nowhere that I can go that I will not obstruct the crucial information here. So I have just, a couple of times in the beginning, I have apologized that I had to cover up Rev. I unfortunately have to cover up Rev for this because otherwise the only other option for me is to disappear. And I don't want to disappear my avatar on the screen. So, it is what it is. And unfortunately, I have to cover Rev up during these reacts.
Rejected her offer, obviously. So yeah, that's pretty suspicious. For her to spend $27,000 on attorney's fees in a very short period of time like that, hard to believe, okay? Here's the thing with GoFundMes. If they press her on this, let's say they did settle for some reason, right? her GoFundMe is for the purposes of the lawsuit, nothing else. There's no like
Receipts.
leftovers that you get to take, right? It's supposed to all go towards the lawsuit. And if they pressed her on this and they try to see the bills that she had and it doesn't match up with what she's claiming here in this proposed settlement, she would have potentially lost everything because they would refund everything she has received because she's broken the terms of her GoFundMe. So that would have been a very bad move, even if Ethan did allow her to settle. But I think we're way past anything like that. But she would respond to that. Ethan.
Wait. No, Shadow. What do you mean? It's a lump sum. That's what he was referencing. Isn't that? That's. I'm not sure. No, Shadow. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. I may be confused on what you're saying. Is that, it's not sus, it's a lump sum. That was what he was just talking about. If all of the money that she gets from her GoFundMe does not go to her attorney's fees, as was described in her GoFundMe, and they get the receipts and they determine that not all of it went to her legal funds, then GoFundMe would basically take their money back from her and to issue refunds. Are you saying are you thinking something different? The attorney requires upfront with escrow, then they charge from the escrow account. Okay. So, okay. I think I see what you're saying there, No Child. So what you're saying is that the $27,017 that is left behind, that's subtract, that's after this has been offered, that this might have gone into an escrow to pay out the lawyers, is what you're saying. So there's $27,000. So there's $27,000 sitting in an escrow account to pay the lawyers if need be. The problem. Okay, so no shout. I get what you're saying there. I do understand that what you're saying there. The problem is, if she was going to settle for 17.5, and I think Ethan may be cognizant of that, because the point that he was making is that Casey Trons offered a settlement of 17.5. So even if Casey Tron put this 27.17 into an escrow for attorneys, if Ethan accepted the settlement of 17.5, there's no way that the amount of work that her lawyers have done would have come out to be $27,000. And so the attorneys would have probably taken a fraction of that, given the amount of work that they've been put in so far, which would have left a whole ton of money still in that escrow that's going nowhere. And I believe that may have been So I think that was the point that was being made here by both Ethan and by Rez. So yeah, understandable. It's like you were thinking of it on a more of a technical standpoint. And yeah, I get it. No, then and fairly reasonable to go, not making sense, but we got it. We came around there. We're good.
I think we're way past anything like that. But she would respond to that Ethan's post on Twitter saying, "You aren't going to threaten my entire livelihood with frivolous lawsuits
for God's sake.
Just get away with it, Ethan Klein. I'm going to expose the suffering that you're making me, an innocent white woman."
Really? Really? She's literally going to try and say, Ethan, a white man, is being racist against her because she's white. Oh, the fucking brain rot. Oh, the fucking brain rot on this bitch. Like, I thought that according to Casey Tron and the circles she operates in, i.e. Hassan and Denims and Frogan, I I thought within their circles, white people were now the ethnicity that you were free to be racist against, according to their own mantra within their circles. According to Hassan and all of his orbiters, white people are the ones that you can be racist against. So how does this work? Oh, and by the way, I gotta love how they of course pull this shit out. That whoever the Zach Lewis is, they have to do this shit. Like, well, okay, Mio, have a good night.
Go through every step of the way. Amazing stuff.
And yes, Spike, you make an excellent point. I should vocalize this. If this really was a frivolous lawsuit, then you wouldn't be settling. Flat out. If this was the frivolous lawsuit that she claims it is, then she wouldn't settle because she would know that she could win because it's frivolous, and therefore Ethan would then be paying all of her attorney's fees. Huh? Yeah. And yeah, what's funny on here is they love just pulling out the labels, don't they? They just love pulling out the fucking labels out of their ass, don't they?
But accountability. If you kind of flip the roles here, let's say Hassan.
Oh, sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I'm sorry. Madame? Counterpoint. Zionist now simply means someone that doesn't agree with me and might actually have something positive to say about Israel. Like, Zionist, the word Zionist has basically, it is now being categorized the same as Nazi or every istophobia that these people pull out. It means fucking nothing now. It literally has been reduced to, you don't believe me, you don't agree with me. That's what it's been reduced to. It does not hold the same meaning that it once had before. Like many years ago. Now it's just like Nazi, just like every istophobe comment. It's literally just means you don't agree with me and therefore you should be disappeared. Like literally they say you should be, like literally they think you should be disappeared if you don't agree with me. And Zionist fits into that category now. And oh, Mike, oh God, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. Take care of yourself. Don't force yourself to stay on the stream. You take care of yourself, okay?
Was suing someone who was a white woman, and if they responded by saying you're making me, an innocent white woman, go through this, they would laugh her into oblivion, right? They would mock her endlessly for trying to play that card, but Casey Tron somewhat gets away with it. Of course, some people are clowning on her, but this is a really desperate reach, and I've heard some theories about her that maybe she's like the most masterful troll. Who knows? But at the end of the day,
No. That's giving away too much credit. Realistically, I am shocked that Casey Tron actually didn't call Ethan an incel. Every post that she makes, she's calling people incels. I am legitimately surprised that we don't see that word anywhere in this post. That shocks me, honestly.
Like, would it be worth all this? I definitely am sure that it's not. But you can see innocent white woman on one day, and on another day, she attacks another white woman, this time shoe on head.
Oh, for God's sake.
Where someone was criticizing her recent video condemning political violence, specifically the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and in response, Casey Tron calls her the pick-me supreme.
Tell me you're insanely jealous that Shoe on Head is more popular than you, without telling me, Casey Tron, that you are insanely jealous that Shoe on Head is far more popular than you will ever hope to be. Yeah, this reeks of desperation along with skunkweed.
Yeah, leave it to her to tear down other women over absolute nonsense. Apparently, it is a pick-me opinion to
This passing that
condemn
hasn't stopped them
political
before.
violence, to not want someone shot through their neck because they have a different opinion as you. That's pick-me behavior. If you don't know what a pick-me is, by the way, it's what people call a woman who has an opinion that they believe is only created because they want to impress men. It's a very ridiculous thing to say. It's overused. It's just like incel, which, of course, Casey Tron would know about. Keyword search incel on her Twitter account. It is astonishing. It is literally.
Mods, make sure you do a report on that one. Do a report on that one so Kick knows about the bot. Do a report on that one and then do the ban. Okay, make sure you get all that. Make sure you get all that information and make sure you send a report to Kick, and then go ahead and ban them. We must take the fight to the bots. Be gone, bots.
Astonishing. And by the way, the sort of pick-me behavior or language she's using, that's typically what an incel says, right? So it's very ironic, but let's look at the other people in the lawsuit. Frogan, the Froganator, the two-time rising Twitch star. Not much going on.
There it is, 37,000 is all she's raised.
A little over the top, a little extra by making her goal $200,000, twice of everyone else in this lawsuit. And she's stuck at 37,000. So she's got a long way to go. Maybe if we give her the next, let's see, 100 or so years, she'll get there. But yeah, it's clearly not enough. If she really believed she needed 200,000, and that's...
It is, Frisk Rock. There's a constant fight. There's a constant fight on Kick regarding bots. We got rid of the last two, but now it looks like there's one for another Discord. And we just got to report it to Kick, so they can try and get a lockdown on it and do a full bot nuke, which they did for the other two. But we need to do our part and report it. So that's why I asked the mods to report the bot first and then nuke it off the string. Beep, beep, beep.
That's all she's got. Well, she must be in some pretty big trouble. But as you can see with this GoFundMe, you can see the most recent ones. I mean, 6 days ago was the last one. It was for $5. Like, it's tough sledding out there. And for Denims, it's not going much better. She's at 42,000 out of her 100,000 goal. And again, if you look at the most recent stuff here, last one, $10 6 days ago. Just not looking too great for the Three Stooges here. They're in big trouble. And every attorney who weighed in on this set of lawsuits, all of them pretty much
Sorry, Conga.
Strongly advising these three to settle as fast as humanly possible. Hey, maybe even try to
what Legal Mindset
apologize to Ethan Klein, because he was very open to all these things in the beginning, but they doubled down. They liked the attention, so they kept running with it and doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down. And now this thing's going to drag out. It appears that the time for settlements is over, and these three are going to be in it for the long haul. This is something that might go on for 1 or 2 years. And with that comes a lot of public humiliation, a lot of people like myself continuing to farm this situation for content, and also the bill's going to keep rising. The cost of having these attorneys on for 1 to 2 years is going to be astronomical. And that GoFundMe that is not increasing at any sort of a significant rate is going to continue to be less valuable and less valuable. And it's going to be really bad when eventually there is some sort of a punishment handed down by the courts and the award.
Yeah, because don't forget, when they lose this case, because let's face it, they are going to lose this case. When they lose the case, don't forget, they're also going to have to pay Ethan's attorney fees in addition to the settlement, in addition to paying their own legal fees. They will have to pay Ethan's legal fees as well. That is what happens in civil court. The winner of the case has the person that the judge finds against has to pay the person who the judge finds for's attorney fees. So they have to pay for their own attorneys. They're going to have to pay for the cost of the settlement as handed down by the judge, and they're going to have to pay for Ethan's lawyers. And they each have only got about $40,000. Oh, they're so fucked. And I haven't heard when it's going to court yet. I still haven't heard about a court date. I'm really curious. I'm sure Legal Mindset will put something out when a court date has been arranged.
Could be devastating. But anyways, don't worry. Someone is here to save the day, to get them out of this legal pickle they're facing. And that, of course, is Hassan Piker, who has some very strong words for Ethan Klein.
For the love of God.
Stop it. Leave them alone. Well, it's a little bit too late for that.
Oh, this is fucking rich. Leave my friends alone, Ethan. Ignore the fact that I've attacked you and called you every name in the book, and have actually said that your wife should be killed. But let's not forget that Hassan actually said that Ilya should be killed, that she is a, quote, valid military target, unquote. But no, he thinks that Ishin should just leave these poor women alone. I don't fucking think so, Gamer. You're already in enough shit. Maybe you need to close your fucking mouth. And by the way, I will point this out again. If these 3 cock gobblers of yours are so valuable to you, if you're so concerned about them with this lawsuit that Ethan is bringing against them, why haven't you put any money into their GoFundMe? Why haven't you said, you know what, I'll make up the difference and I'll pay the remaining $60,000 or $160,000 as the case might be for these women who I fully stand for, I white knight for. Why have you not paid the entirety of their GoFundMe so they can defend themselves in court? You've got the money. You're a fucking millionaire. A grand total of not even $300,000 is a drop in the bucket for you. So why haven't you paid for it, Hassan? Why haven't you put your fucking money where your mouth is? If these 3 are so important to you because they're some of your most dedicated cock gobblers. Where's the money, son? Where's the money to back up what you're saying to help out your supposed allies?
If he really wanted to help, he should have been doing this a long time ago, but yeah, a little too late for this sort of plea to Ethan Klein to do the right thing.
I know, Andrew.
In his mind, while also
they're useful tools.
him during the process. Let's listen to this clip.
Drop the lawsuits, Ethan. Drop the lawsuits. You know they're frivolous. You know it has nothing to do with copyright or anything like that.
Sure
You'll
it does.
win a lot more good favor if you were to do that. I know you.
No, we won't. You'll get more good favor by going after these bitches because they literally committed copyright infringement. They literally committed this offense of copyright infringement. He's going to get more goodwill because more people hate them and you than people that actually hate him. So he will receive more goodwill. The majority of the donations on all 3 of them, the majority of their donations have the comment, this is for Ethan. People have made their donations to these 3 literally under the auspice of, I'm giving this money to Ethan because I know it's gonna be where it ends up. I'm not giving it to you. I'm basically just doing a roundabout donation to Ethan. So don't even fucking try it, you asshat.
Think that the people that you're attacking are unfavorable by the new audience that you have cultivated. But it's a good gesture. I'm sure he's not actually going to lay off regardless. He just seems like a petty tyrant himself, just so thin-skinned, so narcissistic.
Yeah, but he also has not called for the violent and graphic murders of people. You fuckstick. You can call Ethan the thin-skinned petty tyrant all you want. He didn't go on screen and scream at the top of his lungs for his community to literally commit murder in one of the most graphic fashions imaginable. Ethan did not tell his community that they should kill a sitting U.S. representative. Call him names all you want, motherfucker. You're on tape. You're the guy that's camped out under your desk, licking your inverted micro dick, is being called in front of Congress to explain why you're allowed to spew this kind of shit on the Twitch platform. So keep saying these things, you dumbass. You're just giving Congress more questions that they can ask Dan when he's in the hot seat right in front of them. Raw zone. Are you just trying to speed run your ejection?
I can't wait
Go for
this
it.
guy to go bankrupt.
Oh, E4. Me neither.
He feels like when people have wronged him in his mind, he just never stops. It's clear to me. The reason why I say that is because he didn't stop even when his own fans were like, dude, just shut the up about this. Like, okay, we got it. We hate Hassan. He sucks.
So there's a lot to unpack there, obviously. So beginning with...
Wait, I want to hear that last part again. Hang on.
He didn't stop even when his own fans were like, dude, just shut the up about this. Like, okay, we got it. We hate Hassan. He sucks.
So there's a...
Oh, the narcissism. Oh, the fucking narcissism. This was supposed to be him saying, drop the lawsuits and leave these women alone. But of course, at the end, he has to turn it around and make it all about himself. Poor pity me. They hate me. Wah, wah, wah. Of course.
A lot to unpack there, obviously. So beginning with the whole appeal to emotion, saying like this will give you good favor with
that's projection
who, I guess,
Hassan.
Hassan? The subjects of the lawsuits, the communities, is that what they're implying? I'm not really sure, but that is 100% not true. We've seen, no matter what Ethan says, it'll never appease the people who are criticizing him, especially content creators and their communities. These Hassan orbiters, for example, their communities will never have a better view of Ethan, no matter what he says.
No, because Hassan's community wants to kill Ethan and Ilya. Hassan has cultivated a community of terrorists, and if they could get away with it, they would kill Ethan and Ilya. I have no doubt about this. I have zero doubt about this. He's literally called Ilya a valid military target. And I guarantee you the people in Hassan's community view themselves as some kind of soldier in this fucking fight against the quote-unquote Zionist. And so there's a reason why Ethan and Ilya don't go out anymore. They've said, like, they don't really leave the fucking house because they actually are in fear for their lives, that they're applying for concealed carry permits so they can be armed when they go out because they have a legit concern that they will be attacked in the streets by his community. His community are the ones that are going to be coming after him. And Denim's community, and Frogan's community, and Caseytron's community. Hassan and all of his orbiters are literally weaponizing their communities against Ethan. But Ethan's the tyrant, right? Ethan's the thin-skinned tyrant, right?
So that's a very weak thing to be pushing, and also calling him a petty tyrant and so narcissistic. Pot calling the kettle black. Are you serious? this guy. Do we have to pull up like the GQ articles or something to understand what a narcissist looks like?
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. But of course,
Oh yeah, and let us not forget, like the pinnacle of narcissism is when Charlie Kirk was killed. I think it was GQ that did the article. I could be mistaken on who did the article. Someone actually did a sit-down interview with Hassan right after it fucking happened, and all Hassan did was talk about himself. And like, I was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk, and this is what we're going to talk about, and this is what I would have said in opposition of his viewpoints, and he made it all about himself. He is a textbook narcissist. Literally, if you open a medical textbook and look up the definition of narcissism, his face is right fucking there.
Really harps on this fact that these claims are so frivolous. Nothing to do with copyright. Notice how he doesn't actually explain why. How people like Hassan or his orbiters or anyone, they can never actually explain to you why they're frivolous. Now, the choice to call them frivolous is very funny. Because apparently...
Okay, well, Mote, I give a fuck about Kennick. Okay, Kennick would institute bestiality if he had the power to do so. So Kennick is a whole other can of psychopathic worms all in and all of itself.
Apparently, it was not frivolous to the representation of Denims, who also represents Caseytron, so I'm assuming they did the same thing over there. They did not file a motion to dismiss. If they thought it was a frivolous claim, that's what you would do. They didn't do that. So clearly they're taking it seriously. They don't think it's frivolous. They know they're going to have to go and fight this. They didn't even bother with the motion to dismiss. So I don't really want to hear a legal eagle here trying to tell us something that just doesn't make sense from a common sense perspective. And if you hear someone like Legal Mindset, an actual attorney, which Hassan has said is a fake attorney, which is slanderous, to say the least.
Yeah.
He says, Hassan, please stop pretending you understand anything about copyright law. You can barely read properly. I mean, what else do you say? If you want to check out a mountain of criticism about Hassan and these lawsuits and how the trio is reacting to things, you can check out Legal Mindset's channel. But there's another development here, and I want to give you the context first. So recently, Ethan Klein has returned to TikTok, and he's had a lot to say. He's been defending himself, but he's also been going back and looking at some things he's said over the years and wanted to expand on them and even apologize in some circumstances. And he's trying to basically create some bridge over there. Do I think it's going to work? Probably not. Because people, when they make their mind up about you, especially when it comes to the things he's talked about here, like Israel-Palestine, they don't want to hear you. In fact, I've seen clips where they're begging Ethan Klein, we reacted to it on this channel, where they were begging him out in the streets to say, free Palestine. He did it. And then they trashed him and called him a Zionist and a horrible person in the comments anyway.
Yeah. And there's the crux of it, is these activists don't want a bridge. This is why I've said, when it comes to activists, don't capitulate to them. Do not capitulate to any activist, because it will never be enough. And that is the perfect example. He got ambushed by some wannabe interview on the street person that asked him hey, can you say free Palestine? And Ethan, without hesitation, said, absolutely free Palestine. I love Palestine. I think they should be free. Absolutely. I'm in full agreement with it. And so he was fully on board with them without hesitation. And then they trash them for it. These activists do not want a bridge. They do not want an olive branch. They want to subjugate. That's why I say, do not capitulate to any of these activists, because it will never be good enough. They are literally the beast that cannot be fed. They will never be satisfied. If you step even a millimeter out of line, they will try to destroy you. Because they can never be satisfied. They literally, they have no purpose in their life except to fight this imaginary battle of perceived slight. Fighting against perceived injustices is literally all they have. They have no life otherwise. They have no meaning otherwise. They know that if they're not doing this quote-unquote fight, then then they would have to admit that they're just a normal person, that they're not special, and they don't have and they have no grand purpose in life. So they have to keep quote unquote fighting, because the moment they stop, reality is going to set in and they're going to realize, oh yeah, I'm nothing. I'm literally a number in the population density, and that's it. That's it. So that's why I say that's why I've always said, do not capitulate to activists. Like just to try and like placate them. Do not attempt to placate the activists, because they will not be placated, because they have nothing except for their supposed fight against injustice. And they will keep going and they will keep taking, and nothing will ever be good enough.
Anyways, it was ridiculous. But that's what I'm referring to, and I hinted at it earlier in the previous clip. Hassan is saying drop the lawsuits. This would be a good start. The guilt tripping is insane, and honestly, it's really just gaslighting. He's trying to pressure Ethan and give him false hope that if he drops this stuff, all of the haters, all of the skulls being sent to your house, all of the fake CPS calls made against your family by these communities, it's all going to stop. This is a chance to
Hey, don't forget about we cannot forget about the death threats. Those cannot be forgotten about, because that's one reason why Ethan and Ilya are applying for concealed weapons permits, because they actually fear for their lives. That needs to be said. It's not the skulls being said. It's not the false CPS reports. It's also the death threats. And in this day and age, those death threats cannot be brushed off anymore. This is not 20, 30 years ago when someone making a death threat like that is like, oh yeah, it's just a kook. They can't actually do anything. A death threat these days needs to be taken dead fucking seriously. Especially if you are a public figure that people know your face and know where you live. You have to take these threats dead fucking serious now, because people are literally being killed for their points of view. That cannot be emphasized enough, is that these people have threatened to kill Ethan and Ilya. And there is a real possibility that some of them will actually attempt to do it.
Rewrite history.
Okay? Down to YouTubers who spent the last 2 years cementing their legacy as rapacious dick riders of Israel by trying to deplatform all of its prominent critics. Of course, they still, on the one hand, are seemingly proud of their accomplishments in that time period, while simultaneously trying to rewrite the narrative as though they did not actively.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is distracting me. What the fuck is up with his audio quality? Is anybody else hearing that? Excuse me. Is anybody else hearing this? Like, this is distracting. Like, I'm hearing like an electronic interference sound in his. Okay, but I mean, it's not just me though, right? I'm not the only one hearing this. I hope. Like, you guys are hearing this too, right? Like, I just want to make sure I'm not crazy, and that I'm not the only one hearing it. Okay, good. I just want to make sure there wasn't an issue on my end.
Try to call every somewhat brown or Muslim-sounding critic of Israel a terrorist, an Islamist fundamentalist terrorist of the highest order that deserves not only scrutiny but also potential prosecution.
A fuck stick. When you are literally platforming, or when he's literally talking about people that commit fucking terrorism, yeah, they're terrorists. You defend them. You support them. You are one. Shut the fuck up, you cock-gobbling thunder cunt.
Definitely deplatforming, so much so that the entire platform that hosts any sort of dissent against Israel and Israel's genocide must also suffer material harm. Wonder who I'm talking about. Wonder who I could be referencing. A person who now now that TikTok is back in the hands of someone who is sympathetic to the Zionist cause, might be trying to rewrite history.
Oh,
There
cry
are things
harder.
that people like.
Oh, where. This is Hassan spilling terrorist tears right now. This is Hassan. Come on, keep it coming. Give me some more of those sweet, delicious terrorist tears. Come on, give me some more. Give me some more. Come on.
Like, I don't
Come
know.
on, keep coming.
Drop the
Keep coming.
frivolous
Give it. Oh
litigation
yeah.
pursuit.
Oh,
That could
those
be a good
terrorist
start
tears. They're
for
so
people
delicious,
to
Hassan.
let bygones
Keep
be
it coming.
bygones. I
Keep
don't know
coming.
if it would rewrite the history.
Yeah, keep coming.
Also, did you hear the language where he said everyone who's brown or somewhat brown? You do realize he included that last part to include himself, who he has described as white passing at times. He wanted to add himself in with that language. He couldn't go a full commitment, so he called himself somewhat. Interesting. But anyways, he says again, drop the frivolous litigation. It could be a start. Don't know if it would rewrite your history. So there's your answer.
Schultze, quote unquote brown people includes so many different ethnicities, but Hassan doesn't look that way. See, Hassan is racist. He's fucking racist because he only considers quote unquote brown people to be Muslims. He's not including that there are more than a few brown-skinned Israelis. There are brown-skinned Italians, brown-skinned Mexicans, brown-skinned Native Americans, brown-skinned Indians, East Indians. But he only considers Muslims to be quote-unquote brown-skinned. So he's racist. Is anyone shocked by this?
It could be a start. Don't know if it would rewrite your history. So there's your answer. It won't.
Boo-hoo! Cry me a river, Hassan!
That was a good one.
It will not rewrite history. These people have made their minds up about you. They have created a caricature of what they want you to be, the enemy they want you to be, and they will never allow you to twist that or bring it down to reality, no matter what you do. No matter how much you shake the truth in front of them, no matter how much you apologize or try to make things right or take a step in the right direction, it won't be good enough. You should only do things if you really believe it. If you really believe you got something wrong or you want to take a different path, that's when you should do it. But don't do it to appease someone who's clearly an enemy. It's like the bully who's hitting on you and then you start fighting back and they go, whoa, stop it. You know, hold on a second. People are going to think you're a real bad guy for doing this. Like, it's so ridiculous. I think everyone's just tired of hearing this. And this really, to me, just looks like desperation. Because
it's
you
pure
need to bring in
desperation.
the big guns here with Hassan, and the best he can do is say, drop the lawsuits, and maybe we won't be mad at you anymore.
Again, Hassan is like the quote big guns, yet he has not put a dime towards his 3 most staunch supporters' defense funds. Not a dime. But he'll just do a weak ass little stop. Just why don't you just stop it? Just stop it, Ethan. Why are you being so mean? You big old you meanie. Stop being mean. That's the most he can fucking muster. Why? Because he's a narcissist. And those 3 are nothing but tools for him to further himself. He doesn't fucking care about them. All this was lip service for his community. He does not fucking care. He is a sociopathic narcissist that doesn't care for anything but himself. And this was just to please his community. Because if he didn't do this, his community might have actually started going, hey, these 3 supported you. Why aren't you saying something? Why aren't you standing up for them? So he did this to appease his community so they'll keep feeding him money and he can keep, preaching his gospel to his worshipers.
Not looking good for these 3 right here. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So yeah, it's all performative. They're fucked. And I can't wait for the court case to begin.